You are not going to have a good 2025 unless you get attention. Your job as a real estate agent is to get as much attention as you can to show off what it is that you do as an agent. Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your real estate business. We're already working on our income for 2025. What you're doing right now in November and what you're doing in December, that is your January income. As a matter of fact, if you don't do something big this week, if you don't do something big before Thanksgiving, January is going to suck for you. You're going to have lots of great delusions of grandeur. You're going to have the New Year's resolutions, and January is going to suck because what you're doing right now is generating the revenue you will have, the closings you will have for 2025. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do we put a playbook together that makes sense for you as a real estate agent? One of the first things you've got to do is be willing to promote yourself. Be willing to say, hey, I accept referrals in this area. You need to do that with your sphere of influence, with your past clients, with your unconverted leads. There's so many people that you can do very, very well with, helping them with their buying and selling needs, as long as you have a good offer for them, a reason for them to use you in lieu of all other options, and you know how to close that deal. We don't want unconverted leads piling up inside your system until they finally end up going with someone else. So we're going to talk about that today. I've got a couple of notes that I wanted to share with you here. But the best way for you to look at this is New Year's Day is today. New Year's Day is today. Right now, what you're doing in today's market this week and even before Thanksgiving is going to generate the revenue you will make in the month of January. So it's time for us to get busy and getting that revenue happening for us. How do we get that message out to the public? How do we beat obscurity? That's the number one problem we're all dealing with here. So many of you know the competition is not your problem. That's not an issue at all. Your problem is not, there's a lot of competition. There's 5,000 agents in my area. None of that matters. What you're competing against is obscurity. Not enough people know who you are. As a matter of fact, if I could get you to the kitchen table, you usually get the deal. If I could get you in front of the prospect, they love you. They want to work with you. There's no problems. They're not choosing someone else. If you can get in front of them, you get the deal, right? That means you're fighting obscurity. You're not getting beat by the competition. You're getting beat by the fact that nobody knows who you are, or not enough people know who you are. So what I teach with Greg Luther Inner Circle Coaching is let's build that list. I mean, let's look at your list right now, your past clients, your unconverted leads, all of the people that you have. What database are they in? How often are you promoting to them? And then how often are you providing helpful educational content compared to putting real offers in front of them, unique selling propositions, reason to use you in lieu of all other options. So obscurity is what your biggest problem is. If you're going to create a playbook for 2025, you really need to think about, what are my plays? When I get to January 1st, what am I putting out there that's going to get me a touchdown? When I get to February 1st, what am I putting out there that I anticipate getting points on the board? I anticipate racking up closings for myself because I know a lot of people are very attracted to that offer that I'm putting out there. The fact is, you're already good as a real estate agent. Just more people need to know who you are, what you offer, what you do. The one thing that I teach that I think you'll find very helpful, and you should write this down, one thing that I teach with our Inner Circle coaching members is you need to have a quarterly offer. Write that down for me. I want you to have a quarterly offer. And what I mean by that is come January 1st, what are you offering to your list? Is there a sense of urgency? Is there a deadline? Is there a reason for them to reply now? Is there a reason that if they've been on the fence thinking about buying or selling, that now is the time they'll do it because this offer is amazing? It has nothing to do with discount, by the way. As a matter of fact, you could charge a premium if your offer is good enough. You're not doing a discount or $500 off or I'll pay your closing costs or all that crap. You're not trying to work for free. You're going to work at a premium if you have a better offer. But what we found, and this is a tremendous opportunity for you, what we found is so many people were unsure in the market. They had interest rate issues. They had fear of what's going to happen with the election issues. They had mortgage rates are crazy high. They had, I hear COVID's coming back. Our current president is incompetent. The real estate market has halted. Everything's overpriced. Warren Buffett has sold everything. So probably the economy is going to crash. They've got all this stuff coming at them. And I don't really care what your opinion is. Your job is to feed into the local market, understand what the general population thinks. My opinion and your opinion doesn't matter so much as your customers, your clients, what they're thinking. And we've been so unsure that what happens is everybody does nothing. So the reason the market has been slow, because by the way, I talk to an awful lot of agents, and many of you know this. Each day I'm talking to multiple agents. So let me tell you what's happening. They're going out on a lot of appointments and nothing happens. They're not listing with someone else. They're just dragging their feet. So if you've been on appointments and you gave a great presentation and they loved you and it felt really good and then nothing happened, listen to me. It's not you. It's not, you don't suck now. You've been doing this for 20 years. Now all of a sudden you think you suck. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's consumer confidence. So every agent I'm talking to says the last 3 appointments I've went on, it's went absolutely great. And then they never called me back, or they dragged their feet, or I'm like, did they list with someone else? No, they just kind of went cold on me. That's America. That's what's been happening. Now, since the election, that got rid of those that were worried about all of that stuff, regardless of which side they were on. At least now they know what it's going to be, and they can go on with their life. A lot of the hate and the spewing, and I mean, look how negative the freaking ads on both sides of the equation are. Getting all of that gone, now they can focus on actually being successful themselves again. So what that means is, for the last year, all of the people that have been sandbagging, met with realtors, didn't do anything. Went out and looked at some homes, didn't do anything. Went to a mortgage broker, didn't do anything. All of these people that have been sandbagging, they're all hitting the market at the same time. Whether they're selling their house, they're buying a house, you need to be in front of them, and you need to be rekindling some of those old leads that you had out there that were just dragging their feet. It's not that you suck. It's not that you didn't do a good job or give a great presentation. It's just that that confidence level wasn't there for them to actually pull the trigger. They were window shoppers until the time comes to buy or sell. So a great way for us to do this is to provide a quarterly offer to stay in front of our prospects on a continuous basis. And by doing this, and I'll give you some examples of this in today's training here, but by doing this, what it does is it makes you feel like you want to keep growing your list. You want to provide a free report over here on Facebook to get people to opt in with you, because now they're going to get your next quarterly offer. You want to provide a home value analysis over here so you can get them in your list, because they're going to get the next quarterly offer. You want to provide that article that you saw on CNBC that talks about the 10 ways to improve the value of your home. You want to send that to everybody on your list so that the next time you send them an item of value or you send them an offer, someone is going to reply, and you just keep building that list bigger and bigger and bigger. But then you cultivate that list, give them helpful educational content, and then once a quarter, you put an offer in front of everybody. And guess what? When you kick the bushes, some of them run out. They say, hey, I'm ready. I've been reading your stuff. I've been watching your stuff. Thanks for all the helpful info you've provided, and I'm ready to make a move. This is what we teach. So that quarterly offer is absolutely huge. Imagine once a quarter, you're providing that offer, which would then inspire you to want to build a bigger list. You'd say, man, I only had 50 people just a year ago. Then I got to 300. Then I got to 700. Then I got to 1,200. Then I started doing some faceless videos on YouTube, just showing new construction homes or whatever. Never even showed my face. And I started getting a lot of followers there. And then I put an offer there. And what you're doing is you're beating obscurity. This is your goal in 2025. Your playbook in 2025 is to beat obscurity. This is going to make you want to build your list because it makes you more money. That's the reason you're doing it. It's how you get attention in your local marketplace. Does that make sense? So you need to think about the offers you're putting out there. Let me give you some examples, and these are just random and sporadic. You could do any niche that you want to do. Let's say you have 830 people now, and you got them all in one spot, and you're going to put an offer together. Your first quarter offer is new construction homes. Okay. So contact me. I'll get you a list of the top 5 builders in town and their top 2 floor plans for each builder. I'll show you what's included, what's not included, and what their monthly incentives are. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. Okay. So very simple offer, right? We put those together all the time in our Greg Luther Inner Circle coaching. We do tons of training on this. So that's what your offer is for the first quarter. Well, what you'd want to do is create 3 you'll create 3 emails and 1 text message that talks about that opportunity. And the first week of the quarter, in this case, January 1st, we're going to send an email every other day and 1 text message to our whole list. Hey, if you've thought about buying new construction, there's a whole lot of them in the area, but there's a lot that you may not realize here. Some builders include a lot of things. Others, they do that as options and upgrades. So you're going to pay a lot more money. If you'd like to get the top 5 builders in town and their top 2 selling floor plans, simply reach back to me here and I'll get you a complete package mailed out to you immediately. No obligation whatsoever. It's a pretty good damn offer if you've had 800 people that have been watching your stuff, and then it gets to 1,200 and then 1,500 and then 2,000 people. And you realize that now that you're cultivating a list, you're building a list and then cultivating it to get them converted. Every time you put an offer out there, you're going to get appointments from people that have been watching your content and they're ready. As an example, if I made an offer here today, there's going to be real estate agents who would want to work with me. Unfortunately, I have nothing available, and enrollment for my Inner Circle coaching has been closed for 6 months. So you can't even get involved with me. But if I provide lots of content every week, guess what? You'd want to join up.